I have no friends, no family, away from home. I'm by myself. I feel I maxed out almost. You know, when you to a level, you almost feel, where else is there for me to go? What else is there for me to do? I need to reinvent myself. I called my producers. I said, I might come back. I might not.
What personal sacrifice did success require from you?
You give up certain things if you want to achieve heights in your life. And for me, I'm very career driven and I will not change that. That is who I am to the core. And I'm not missing out on anything.
What leadership lessons did entrepreneurship teach you that nobody could have taught you in a classroom?
As a woman entrepreneur, we have to be tough and we have to be assertive and we always have to be on point. And we get labeled sometimes.
Success often looks glamorous from the outside. The awards, the business, the recognition, the influence. But behind every successful entrepreneur is a story most people never hear. Today's guest is a woman who has built a name for herself in one of the world's most competitive real estate markets. Angela Gegg is the founder and the CEO of AG Assets, a prominent commercial real estate expert, industry commentator, entrepreneur, speaker, and business leader. Originally from Belize, Angela moved to Dubai and built her career becoming a recognized voice in the UAE property sector, a member of the Dubai Businesswomen Council, and a trusted advisor to investors and businesses across the region. But before the success, there was a journey. Today, we're going beyond the titles and uncovering the story behind the woman who built the brand, because success isn't what people see, it's everything they don't. Angela, before Dubai, before AG Assets, before real estate, who was Angela Gegg?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. First of all, before we dive into who I am, thank you so much for being here with you.
Our pleasure.
Absolutely. Who was Angela Gegg? Whew. Angela Gegg is the exact same woman that she always was, just maybe a bit more seasoned in the world of business when it comes to real estate. However, I've always been in front of cameras. I've always been, as I told you, I've published 2 books. So I've had a very different career. I've always been in business, but I've been a career change completely from being a TV personality and a published author to being a real estate business owner.
Wonderful. Angela, you grew up in Belize and eventually built a career in Dubai. What inspired that move and what were you searching for at the stage of your life?
I think it's very interesting because at the time when I left Belize, I was in the middle of hosting a program at the time called Oh Miss Gegg, OMG. It was on Creme Television and I was at the peak of my TV career.
Okay.
And I feel I maxed out almost. You know, when you to a level, you almost feel, where else is there for me to go? What else is there for me to do? I need to reinvent myself. And I had sold my house at the time and I had a bit of money from the sale. This was in Belize. And I went off to the UK for a few weeks and I said, I need a vacation. And I had a friend in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And she encouraged me to come over. I came to Abu Dhabi. I came to Dubai. I never ever wanted to leave. I called my producers. I said, I might come back. I might not.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
I never left.
Wow.
15 years later.
Looking back, was entrepreneurship always part of your personality or did it develop over time?
No, I've always been a seasoned entrepreneur. I was working at 14, having different businesses, always finding ways to make money, to hustle. No, definitely entrepreneurship is in my bones.
What did success mean to you before moving to Dubai?
It's an interesting question because to me, success is always just being the best. You want to be the best at everything. I'm very driven. So to me, just the best at anything I do, I have to be. Otherwise, it's pointless.
When you arrived in Dubai, what was the biggest reality check?
I have no friends, no family, away from home. I'm by myself, completely starting over. I'm a small fish in a huge pond. I used to be a big fish in a small pond.
Okay.
It was a game changer, but I actually enjoyed being anonymous for a while.
Many people see successful CEOs today and assume the journey was smooth. What did your first few years in Dubai actually look like?
Well, before I opened my agency, I was a broker. So I've worked as a real estate agent and it was very, very different. You know, people think this job is easy. They think that we all have it so made. All they see is the commission, but they don't see the work that's entailed. And as a commercial expert, I can put in 2 years to close a deal. Like if I sell a building, it's not an overnight success.
Yeah.
I've put in years to sell that building. I've worked beyond measures to get the deal done, and people they don't see it. And as a CEO, we have so many things to deal with at the companies, from VAT to corporate tax to audits to AML compliance, dealing with our staff, we have hundreds of developers that we work with, and every single day there's so much to manage. And then there's also the expectations of everyone around you. Wow. But I wouldn't change it. I love it.
What was the hardest challenge you faced while building your career here?
I don't think I faced any challenges.
Was there ever a moment when you seriously doubted yourself or your decision to stay?
No, I'm a UAE girl to the core. I'm in love with this country. I'm so grateful to our leaders. I always felt a sense of safety here and self-awareness that I never had anywhere else.
And what do you like the most about Dubai?
Safety. I tell people that as a woman living in a Muslim country, I am freer here anywhere in the world.
If you could relive your first year in Dubai, what would you do differently?
Nothing. No, absolutely nothing.
Wow.
No, I had fun my first year in Dubai.
Really?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun my first year in Dubai. No, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing.
Wow.
To be honest.
So, Angela, what inspired you to launch AG Assets, and what gap did you believe existed in the market back then?
Well, it was about time for me. I think after being a broker for, I would say, 10 years working, I only worked for 2 companies before I opened my own. I'm very loyal. I'm very dedicated to my craft, to the people I'm with. And I'm a Scorpio. We're very loyal people. But at the time, all my clients, everybody wanted, where is your company? What are you doing? Why are you still working for someone else? Like, it was the boost from everyone. You can do it. You can do it. Why haven't you? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm just going to do it. Let's go for it.
AG Assets has a strong presence in commercial real estate. Why did you choose that segment rather than following the crowd?
It's a bit of a story. So when I first started real estate, my mentor at the time, I really wanted to do Burj Khalifa. My mentor at the time knew that I'm famous in my country. They know where I come from. Like, I've been verified on Facebook forever. I'm like one of the people that's like authentically well known. And he was like, you're famous. You can't be here and do what everyone else is doing. Get into commercial. It's different. It's a bar up. It's a level higher. It requires the brains and the skills that you actually have. And I was like, I'll think about it. Anyways, I did a warehouse that first week and I never looked back.
At what point did you realize you weren't just building brokerage, but building a brand?
That was from day one. This was always who I was. My personal brand has been my whole life. So I think that comes with the territory, hence my initials in the name of the company. And I think sometimes that's challenging because when you add your name to it, if any of your team members mess up, it's still your name. But it's a risk I was willing to take because I am the brand. It's me. It's Angela Gegg I'm the person that people know. So it had to be AG Assets and not AG Property or AG Homes or AG Real Estate. AG Assets because I'm more than property. We handle asset classes.
What has been the most difficult decision you've had to make as a founder?
Honestly speaking, I think it comes with the staffing. The difficulties come with the employees, the hiring, the trust, the giving too much, the getting taken advantage of. My biggest challenge has been the people.
What are the pillars when choosing someone, when choosing your staff, your people? What do you look for?
So now I'm very strict. I do full due diligence on them. I want to know how loyal they are, how many times they've moved around. Well, I call in Dubai, we have the revolving door of brokers. They go in, out, even developers in, out, and it's exhausting. If I get a CV and this has happened, you're not welcome at my agency. So this is something that I really look at when I'm hiring. I think understanding a person's personality to understand whether they fit with my team as well is really important. So before I fully onboard, they need to meet everybody. I work we're small, so we're niche, we're together. And it's important that all the personalities click.
What leadership lessons did entrepreneurship teach you that nobody could have taught you in a classroom?
As a woman entrepreneur, we have to be tough and we have to be assertive and we always have to be on point. And we get labeled sometimes. But I always say, if it was a man speaking to you like this, it would be no problem. But because it's a woman, you catch feelings. You take it personally. Men entrepreneurs have no issues. Or if I say I do multiple things in a business, if I have multiple things that I'm interested in, oh, I thought you just did real estate. Oh, you do that too? Then I see with the comparison of women and men, I think is
true.
You want full honesty, full disclosure, that's it.
What values are non-negotiable inside your company?
Loyalty and dedication.
People see the successful entrepreneur today. What's one struggle behind your success that very few people know about?
Well, it's very hard to juggle family and career. I mean, in life, you have 4 pillars, right? You have work, which is your career, you have family, you have fun, and then you have health. If you want to be truly successful, you can have 2 of those. And I think I've chosen work and fun. So family and health is pretty much out. I don't really, have time for those. It is hard to balance. But work is always going to be number 1. So it's very difficult to allow some of the other burners in sometimes. Metaphorically speaking, does that make sense?
What personal sacrifice did success require from you?
You give up certain things if you want to achieve heights in your life. And for me, I'm very career driven and I will not change that. That is who I am to the core. And I'm not missing out on anything. I have a great life. I'm happy. And a lot of times, people will say, oh, you're alone. I'm like, but I'm not lonely.
What has been your lowest point professionally and what helped you go through it? Push through
Sometimes it's the challenge. I mean, being like a sole breadwinner can be difficult because you have everything to cover. You're handling both jobs. While I say this is what I've chosen, it is what I've chosen and it's who I am, but it's not easy.
What's the biggest misconception people have about successful business owners, especially women?
Oh, we just have it so easy. Everything is just handed to us. Everything is quite easy for them. No, absolutely not. It's the contrary.
When people look at Angela Gegg today, what's the one thing they assume about your success that is completely wrong?
They probably assume that I have partners or people funding me, and it's just all been me.
Yeah.
So they would assume naturally most people are not independent owners. They have other people backing them.
Yeah.
Whereas I've pretty much I've built everything on my own.
Amazing.
By myself.
Angela, you've witnessed Dubai evolve tremendously over the years. What excites you most about the future of the market?
Ras Al Khaimah, the casino, the win. No, honestly speaking, everything. I think the growth here is tremendous. His Highness has done everything to keep everything moving for us, and this will never stop. I think the visionaries that we have, our leaders, are so advanced and just I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it because I'm so passionate about Dubai, and not just Dubai, but all the other. Abu Dhabi is up and coming as well. What's happening there is incredible. RAK is booming. Everything is happening, and I just think there's no end. All the 7 Emirates are gonna just watch and see, guys.
What qualities will define the next generation of successful brokers, in your opinion?
I think that brokers personally should get more involved in caring and being compassionate about their clients, the needs, the wants, the choices, and not focusing on money, which is one of the, I try to build this at the agency as well. Don't think about your commission. Understand first the client's desires, needs, wants, what's important to them. Commission comes last.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you don't care genuinely about what you're selling, what you're doing, you have no place here.
What advice would you give to women who want to build a career in real estate or entrepreneurship?
I took 10 years to open my company. I think you need to invest in yourself, in your education, in your craft, in your expertise. When I see people open companies on a whim, without really understanding the market to a T. I understand the market to a T, from commercial to secondary to off-plan, to the laws, to the rules. I mean, I think you really need to be self-aware and educated before you do it, and also understand what comes with that. You don't just open a company and that's it. There's so many things, layers behind that company, rules that need to be followed, things that need to be met in order for that company to run. So I think do your homework, guys.
Let's talk a bit about Prestige One. You've worked with many developers throughout your journey. In your opinion, what separates a developer that simply launches projects from a developer that genuinely earns long-term trust and loyalty from brokers and investors? And where do you see Prestige One positioning itself in today's market?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly impressed by everything Prestige One has done. From their first launch to now, I think you guys have well over 10 projects. You have 18, I mean, well over 10, right? So you have 18 projects and the quality is unmatched. The locations are fantastic. What you give is incredible. I mean, all my clients are super happy with this developer, and it's why I'm also here, because I don't give my time to a lot of developers. I work with a select few, but I think also what you all have done from the start is just beyond impressive.
So, from your experience working with Prestige One, what do you believe we do particularly well in Prestige One that help the brokers create confidence with their clients?
Okay, so you guys, it's not just about the quality of the buildings, it's about the team. Very involved. You do events, like let's say something, for example, you all were hosting the World Cups here.
Yes.
No other developer did that. And I think you were the first to also onboard soccer.
True.
You know, you were the first. You were always 10 steps ahead of the rest. And you genuinely care and give back. You yourself run Prestige Academy.
Absolutely.
The sales team is very involved. I don't think I've ever sent a message and not gotten a reply.
Wow.
Immediately. And top sales managers answering, everyone. And fast. If you need something, it gets done without hesitation. So even just now, I resold one of the place units. And the NOC, the CRM, the team was on it. They got everything done for me in no time.
If you could give one piece of advice to the younger Angela arriving in Dubai, what would it be?
I'd have opened the company sooner.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'd have launched my agency way before I did. I should have done it a long time ago.
How do you define success today in one sentence?
Honestly speaking, it's hard to define it in one sentence because to some people, success is money. To some people, it's having a family. To some people, it's, different things. But for me, I think success is just true happiness of self. So I find my version of success. I know you're talking about business, but for me, it's just being happy and content.
If someone wrote the real story of Angela Gegg, what chapter would surprise people the most?
What chapter? Probably the heartbreak.
Oh.
Yeah, if we're gonna go deep, it's probably gonna be the heartbreak in my life,
One last message, one last thing you would like to share today with us?
Nothing. This is a very interesting podcast that I've been on. Thank you so much for having me because usually people just want to talk pure business and you really have dug deep. So I like talking